Hey there, welcome to my channel. This is the car I'm currently working on that I'm going to be doing most of my coverage on and videos on different little thises and that's. But I wish I'd recorded it yesterday, as there's not many videos on YouTube about it. But yesterday I dropped my steering arms. I bought this cast drop axle off of Speedway. I know there's a lot of people out there who have their doubts about cast axles. I've heard just as many good stories about cast axles that haven't broken. I do think the big issue is you want to make sure if you're in an accident or anything that could potentially cause shock to the front end that you go ahead and buy another axle, because they are not going to bend and bounce back the same way a forged axle would. But this axle mirrors a 39 Ford perch spacing. I'm running a 39 Ford set of split bones with a 39 Ford front spring. I started by rotating these out. Use my oxyacetylene setup over there. I heated here first. I took a big old pipe wrench and I hooked it on there, and I bent it down. I didn't get any cracking. I didn't go too. You want to go as cool as you can on your bends. You don't, within reason that you're able to bend it. The hotter you get, the more likely you are to have cracking. Once I got this bent down, these eyes rotated. They were turned upright because I had rotated that and canted it out. At that point, what I did is I heated it here, and I hooked that pipe wrench onto the eye, and I twisted it back upright, making sure to duplicate my angle to preserve my Ackerman effect for steering. At that point, what I did is I bent up, because I was rotated but still pointing down, and I bent it back up to get my drop. I'm ran into a little bit of a clearance issue on my steering arm right before I got the bump stops here. But right before it hits, that steering arm nut is going to right before it hits, that steering arm nut is going to make contact with my bones. So first thing I'm going to do is get it set in the car, and I'm going to pie cut and lift my bones to where they need to be. And then if I'm still having contact issues, I'm going to heat right here. Careful not to hit either eye, and just heat right in the middle. I'm going to hook that wrench on, and I'm going to bend this out. On the other side, similar. Not as severe of a drop needed, and it's a lot more simple, but same idea. Hooked the wrench on here, bent down, and then rotated it back upright. Similarly, what I did is I heated here. Careful not to get too much heat into the kingpin boss here and cause distortion, because then the spindle's garbage. Bent down, did the same thing. Eye was facing up, rotated the eye, heating here, then bent it back up to a plane, and you can see I have clearance, and it'll hit the stop before it will actually hit anywhere else. And I have good clearance on that side as well. But anyway, if you know how to run an oxyacetylene torch, it's not real hard to do. And you can even watch videos on how to run an oxyacetylene torch. I'd watch a lot of them and be really careful about not burning your shop or your house down. Going to do some videos here soon covering this car. This car is a Model A frame. It's got a 27 Chevy radiator and surround. It's got a 26 Chevy Roadster windshield that I've adapted. The body front half is a 25 Dodge touring body front half. And then I adapted some 27 Chevy Capital Roadster quarters. It's got a 37 Ford rear end and a 39 Ford front end. It's going to run wide 5 wheels. I recently did a custom dash for it. I rolled out on the bead roller and put some gauges in. I'm going to paint the smaller gauges to match the larger gauge. But I'm also going to add down here for a little deal for the ignition. And yeah, that's my project. I'll do some how-to stuff. I'm no expert, and definitely take everything I say with a grain of salt. But if I can do this stuff, I'm sure just about anybody can do it, because I'm not all that special. Anyway, thanks for watching.